Gear Tronic from LIQUI MOLY is an innovative system offering a complete transmission oil service for automatic gearboxes. The perfect solution for flushing, changing oil and adding additives easily, fast and reliably. In this video, we'll explain to you step by step just how easy and intuitive the Gear Tronic is to operate. For an automatic transmission fluid change in cooler mode, these are the steps to follow. After removing the underbody protection, first locate the transmission cooler lines and disconnect them at the most accessible point. While doing this, fill a small quantity of the used fluid into a reference sample bottle. What this special safety check for automatic gearboxes is all about will be explained in Chapter 6. Then, select the correct connection adapters for the ends of the disconnected hoses. The adapter database on the LIQUI MOLY website will help you do this. Connect the adapter to the ends of the relevant hoses and the adapter tubes to the relevant adapters. Fill the additive receptacle provided with LIQUI MOLY Automatic Transmission Cleaner. The amounts can be taken from the LIQUI MOLY dosage instructions. Connect the additive receptacle between the red hose on the right-hand side of the Gear Tronic and the adapter hose. Then, connect the black hose, also on the right-hand side of the Gear Tronic, with the adapter hose. This concludes the adaptation process in the cooler cycle. Connect the device's power cable to the vehicle's 12-volt battery. You will immediately hear an acoustic signal and the display will light up. Now determine the required fluid quantity and the correct transmission fluid specification. For this, you can use the LIQUI MOLY Oil Guide. Fill the correct transmission fluid into the new fluid tank. Now, start the engine. You should hear a beep, and the Ready lamp on the keypad should light up. If this doesn't happen, switch the engine off and change the connections of the red and black hoses. Then, start the engine again. The manometer on the device indicates the operating pressure inside the gearbox. The Gear Tronic now circulates the LIQUI MOLY Automatic Transmission Cleaner through the gearbox. This circulation process should take about 10 minutes. While this process is going on, lift the vehicle slightly and put the selection lever through all positions and gear speeds at least twice. The next step is changing the transmission fluid filter. First, make sure that the Ready lamp is lit up. Then press the Cooler Mode button and then the Drain Pan button. The Gear Tronic now empties the transmission oil pan into the waste fluid receptacle. Press the Stop button as soon as the continuous beep signal is heard and the Process Complete lamp lights up. Switch the vehicle's engine off immediately. Drain off the fluid remaining in the oil pan. After that, the transmission oil pan can be removed. Replace the transmission fluid filter and, depending on the vehicle type, the oil pan gasket. You can then simply clean the oil pan and the shift valve housing with the ProLine Gearbox Interior Cleaner from LIQUI MOLY. After this, you can mount the new transmission fluid filter, the oil pan and the oil pan gasket back onto the vehicle. Press the Empty New Fluid button and wait until the quantity of transmission fluid previously taken out has been replenished with new fluid. Then press the Stop button. The quantity of fluid in the transmission has now been returned to its initial level. We now move on to changing the transmission fluid. To do this, remove the additive receptacle from the transmission fluid cycle, fill it with LIQUI MOLY ATF additive and put it to one side for the moment. The full additive receptacle will be connected into the cycle again at a later point. Take great care when doing this, as the additive receptacle is hot. Also remember that the ATF additive may only be used in combination with LIQUI MOLY TopTech ATF 1100 or TopTech ATF 1200. Start the vehicle engine again. Check that the cooler mode button is lit up. If so, press the required litre button, making sure that the oil quantity is always rounded up, and the process now begins. The new and used oil can be continually monitored through the viewing window. The quantity of new oil is displayed on the Gear Tronic during the oil change process. When the process is completed, you will hear an acoustic signal and the Process Complete lamp will light up. When this happens, press the stop button. Then switch the engine off. You can now connect the filled additive receptacle into the transmission fluid cycle. Start the engine once again. Check the oil level in the automatic gearbox in accordance with the vehicle manufacturer's guidelines. Correct the oil level if necessary by pressing the +1/2 litre or -1/2 litre buttons. Once the oil level correction is completed, press the stop button. Switch the vehicle engine off. The transmission oil change is now completed. Disconnect the Gear Tronic from the vehicle. Be extremely careful here as all the components are hot. Remove all the device's connections from the vehicle, including the hoses and adapters. Reattach all the vehicle's lines and hoses. Disconnect the Gear Tronic power supply cable from the battery. Start the vehicle and check that there are no leaks in any of the connections or the transmission fluid pan. Please also check whether any adaptations need to be carried out with the vehicle diagnostics tool. And finally, take the vehicle out for a test drive. LIQUI MOLY, for technical and visual value retention for your car from one single source.